Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see the runner-up and Rookie of the Year balloting Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns as they square off against the #1 pick, Kyler Murray, and the Arizona Cardinals. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with the Cleveland Browns. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Browns ready to go to work here on offense, and their man behind center, well, that's Baker Mayfield, the #1 overall pick last season, who set a rookie record with 27 touchdown passes. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. The numbers for Beckham in last week's effort. He took out some anger, some apparent anger against that defense. The yards just kept going up and up and up.
Yeah, he was just running up and down the field doing whatever he wanted. By the end of the game, he was seeing 2, sometimes 3 defenders on every snap. Yet he was still making play after play. It was like he was running routes versus air in practice.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Throwing, Mayfield. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 32-yard line. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Switch.
Now Mayfield. This pass complete to Higgins. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Throwing again on 2nd down. Mayfield. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Interference. Defense.
So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Jarvis Landry with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Austin Seibert on for the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Cardinals now under first-year head coach Cliff Kingsbury. They will be led out by the Heisman Trophy winner from 2018, drafted number 1 overall the subsequent year, Kyler Murray.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it, because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Running, it's Drake. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. And here are the offensive starters for Arizona.
It's nice to see Marcus Gilbert back on the field, this time in an Arizona Cardinals uniform. They picked him up from Pittsburgh for a 6th-round pick back in March. He's going to play right tackle for the Cardinals, a key spot for them. The big thing for him, can he stay healthy? Because
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go.
There is a hush indeed. Now a man who punted for the Browns in 2015, Andy Lee, on to kick it away. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And it's a good news, bad news proposition for them. Mostly good news, and that's that they have clinched a playoff spot. Bad news, if they want to make a Super Bowl for the moment at least, they'd have to do it out of the 6th and final spot.
Well, you know what I would do if I were leading up the coaching staff?
What's that?
I'd call everyone together and say, so what? We're in. That's all that matters. The only people who have to really worry about all this now are the logistical people. They have to get us on the road. The equipment guys have to get stuff there. All we have to do is band together as a team and go play a game.
Man, I like that. I'm juiced up. I'm motivated. Let's play.
Let's go.
Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, They know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws that quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes two to tango. Mayfield brings him up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. First carry for Nick Chubb. And an alley to run. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. That burst good for 20 and a first down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. Give him a couple on the catch at 2nd and 8. So many connections between the two quarterbacks in this game, Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray. Both Heisman Trophy winners. Obviously, you've got the Oklahoma connection. Both #1 overall picks. And both also won a state title in high school in the state of Texas. And neither guy is a very tall quarterback. Baker Mayfield at 6'1", Kyler Murray just at 5'10". To throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 6 there, but now it's 3rd.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Mayfield on 3rd and 2. And he's got his man. That's Landry. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line.
That's it, baby. You got what?
Coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one in SoCal. The Vikings and the Chargers from Dignity Health Sports Park. Coverage at 8:20 Eastern, 5:20 Pacific on EA Sports. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. Here's another of the Cardinal backs. This is David Johnson. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as score. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. A chance for us here to discuss Jarvis Landry. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Play fake. Mayfield. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Chandler Jones make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Mayfield looks to throw. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Jarvis Landry with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Seibert on for the PAT. And it is now 21-0. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Following that fumble recovery, it's Murray, and he hits Drake. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage, it'll be back at the 36. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. 2nd down, Murray sets to throw. He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Murray. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Danielle Hunter able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This from 54 yards away. He's got the leg, but it's no good. He missed it right, and this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
The Browns drive about to get started. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Lamar Jackson, excellent in the W, as his guys get victory number 12 on the year.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race. Now, this is into the weekend in the NFC, and it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl.
And he's taken down. This will be a Browns sack. Danielle Hunter able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is, will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been his game.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. A handoff out of the pistol. It's Drake. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Murray going to throw. They'll set up the screen to Drake. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. Now the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Andy Lee now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play that time out of Chubb. 56 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Mayfield. It's caught. Beckham. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep. 1st and goal. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
To throw, Mayfield. The quick slant caught. That's good for a gain of 6. 2nd and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal. Mayfield to throw it. And this is caught for a Browns touchdown by Landry. Jarvis Landry, his 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and that makes the score 28-0. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
The run there on 1st down, going to get him 5 up to the 30. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, here's Murray. And this one caught by Max Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there, 1st down. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Murray going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Murray now on 1st down. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards to pick up. Good enough for an Arizona first. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. He's got it to Williams. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Now Murray again. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards to pick up, good enough for an Arizona first. Murray going to lead his guys up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has, but in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Murray with a 3rd and long. And he finds Fitzgerald. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one's going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this Browns defense stands tall. Heading back out, Baker Mayfield as we call up our player spotlight, and it's been a good game for him to this point, Charles. They're winning on the scoreboard. They got to be feeling pretty good.
And it's always fun for them when they're not just winning on the scoreboard, but they're contributing in a big way. You see him throwing touchdown passes, watching this video here. It's got to be a fun time for him and a relaxed time because nothing is pressing.
Relaxed, cool, calm, collective, all those things describing him right now. Well, the lead late in the 4th, but Mayfield's going to throw it. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down. Here's Mayfield. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield. He finds his target, Beckham. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual
it.
Guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it, sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit no matter what the battle is. We're going to finish this thing out.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Cleveland, they remain in the hunt for a first